In the last section, we learned about circumference, and we learned that the circumference of a circle is equal to pi times the diameter, or we could write it as 2 pi r, since twice the radius is equal to the diameter. So next, we're going to talk about area. And let's consider another circle. And let's suppose that I take this circle and I break it into pie pieces. I'll make 8 pie pieces, like this. Now, what would happen if I took these pie pieces and I'll highlight one. So here's one pie piece. What would happen if I took these 8 pie pieces and I rearranged them? So I'm going to take a snip of this. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. So there's my image. And I'm going to paste a few more. 2, 3, there's 4. So I've now sort of virtually cut out 4 pie pieces, and now I'm going to cut out 4 more. So I will do this again. Do a freeform snip. Oops, let me try that again. Okay, so now I'm going to take this image, I'm going to modify it just a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this business. So I'm just looking at the sector, and one more time. Okay, so now I'm going to put 1. Oh, I wish that would go behind. There we go. Well, you can kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. I think I'm going to have to draw it. If I were to take the other 4 pieces and put these together, I'm trying to make a rectangle is what I'm trying to do. And it's actually a little bit easier to do with paper and pencil. But I could take the 8 pieces and rearrange them like this. Now, this distance right here is halfway around the circle. That is half the circumference. So this is 1/2 the circumference. The circumference is 2 pi r, so that's just equal to pi r. And then this distance is pretty close to the radius of the circle. So if I wanted to pretend that this thing was roughly a rectangle, to find the area, I would take the base times the height, which would be pi r times r, which is pi r squared. So the area of this circle, of the whole circle, is pi r squared. And that's the big idea here. The area of a circle is pi r squared. So if I'm given a circle with a radius of 5 and I want to find the area, I would take 3.14, that's the number we're using for pi, times 5 squared. So 3.14 times 25, I'd go to my trusty calculator. Oops, 14 times 25, and I get 78.5. So the area is 78.5. If this measurement were in centimeters, the area would be in centimeters squared. Okay, so the next thing I want to be able to do is, what if I'm working with a sector? So let's suppose for a moment that I want to find the area of this sector, and let's say that my central angle is 60 degrees, and I'll keep my radius at 5. What I can do is set up a proportion like we did in the last section. I'm going to take the central angle, I'm going to spell it right. I'm going to take the central angle over 360 degrees, so that's the part over the whole, and I'm going to set it equal to the arc length. So this is the arc length I'm going to find, this yellow highlighted portion, and I'm going to call it x, over the circumference. Now, this is the same triangle, or the same circle as before, so the circumference is 78.5, so I'll use that number. And now I can solve this. So I'm going to do 60 divided by 360. I have another calculator here. I get 0.167 equals x over 78.5. And now to find x, I need to multiply both sides by 78.5. I'm going to undo the division. And when I do that, I get 13.1. So what I just figured out is that the length of this arc is 13.1 centimeters. Thanks for watching.